You hear me?
There you go.
I'm Tennessee Commissioner of Agriculture Charlie Hatcher, and it's a great honor for me to be here today. And this probably is going to be the best day of my commissionership because today, traveling with the governor and Lieutenant Governor McNally and also Speaker Sexton, and we're visiting each Grand Division to a family farm to do a couple of things that are historical. We're going to kick off a year-long festivities for America's 250th anniversary, as well as celebrate the passage of the historic Farmland Preservation Act. So that's what we're here for today. I'm going to follow, I'm not a script follower, but I'm going to follow it today because we have a tight schedule. So there's no better place to do this, in my mind, than a beautiful family farm, and that's where we're here today on Rocky Field Farms, which has been in the family since 1796. They're also a value-added farm. They're in the Angus cattle retail beef business, and the governor may talk about that here in a few minutes. But as we celebrate these two milestones, as I said, we're leading into America's 250th anniversary. Since the first immigrants set foot on this land, agriculture has been the backbone of our nation, and that has not changed. It is appropriate that we kick off a year's worth of festivities with Governor Lee signing the Farmland Preservation Bill to help safeguard Tennessee's agricultural and forest land for generations to come. This legislation received overwhelming support from the leaders of the state, and some of those are with us today. Thank you to Rocky Field Farms for hosting. We're very privileged to be here. And at this time, I'll bring Tennessee Farm Bureau President Eric Mayberry to the stage, or he's already on the stage.
Thank you, Commissioner. Appreciate that. So I'm not much of a script follower either, but after farming about 60 years, I can look around and tell it might rain, so I'm going to go fast. But it is great to see everybody here today. Just appreciate y'all coming out and for this event. And I do serve as the president of Tennessee Farm Bureau, and thinking about the 200-year history of our nation, I just thought a quote from our first president of our nation might be fitting, from George Washington. And it's agriculture is the most healthful, most useful, and most noble employment of man. And I want to thank Governor Lee for celebrating agriculture this week with the signing of the Preservation Act, Farmland Preservation Act, and then and certainly the 250th anniversary of our country. And I think George Washington would be proud to know that we're celebrating our country and our heritage and our rural heritage after all those years of his part in our founding. For me personally, I am so proud that we're recognizing the future of agriculture as we sign the Farmland Preservation Act, which will ensure farm and forest land for generations to come. Our children will be thankful for this, and we are certainly thankful to the General Assembly and the governor for making this momentous occasion happen. I also want to take a quick minute to thank the Hughes family. It's very fitting that we celebrate a farm that dates back to the beginning is 1796. Which is the beginning of our state. So same year you guys started, we started this state officially. And so Rocky Field Farm is now under the stewardship of Wayne Hughes and his family, and it's now primarily a beef farm, and farm has had tobacco, dairy, and other crops. And a little bit of a personal thing here. I want to also give a shout out to Wayne. He also serves as a Farm Bureau insurance agent. So I thank you, Wayne, for your service on many fronts for our field. Good deal. So, Mr. Commissioner, other than saying thanks, I'll hand it back to you, sir.
Okay, you know, Tennessee is really special. We have the leadership that helped make this Tennessee Farmland Preservation Act possible here today. So, and we also have members of the General Assembly down here to my right. There's one in the hat there. Say thank you to them as well. But we have Lieutenant Governor McNally here, and I invite him up to the podium to make a few comments.
Thank you. I'm not a farmer. I'm a pharmacist. But it was a real pleasure to get to work with the people with the Farm Bureau and others to make sure that bill's passed, and I certainly want to thank Speaker Sexton and Governor Lee for their leadership. It had a little bit of a tough time in the Senate, but we were able to overcome those difficulties, and it went on through, and we're glad that today we'll be signing it. So thank you very much. Thank you.
We're also honored to have Speaker Sexton here, and if you could come forward, sir.
Thank you. It's great to be in Northeast Tennessee today. It's great to have Representative Hawk and Representative Jones here as well, who do a fine job for you in Nashville. And let me just say, I know we're here about this, but also I think while we're here, I think we need to give a round of applause to the governor for what he did for the natural disaster up here at the end of last year, and making sure that the local communities and that y'all were taken care of. And I'll just say we have a great governor in Bill Lee, and I have a motto where I say it's people before politics. He's one of the few governors in our country who do put people before politics and make sure that what he does, whether it's in farming and education, whatever it is, that he's doing what he needs to do to put Tennessee ahead, and I think that shows. So thank you all for coming out today. It's great to see so many youth here I'm assuming you're in summer, and so taking a day to come here. So thank you all so much. And the last thing is, I live in Crossville, Tennessee, so if you're ever coming through and Buc-ee's is too much, give me a call. I'll be happy to help you out along the way. Thank you all for coming out today for this great cause. Thank you.
Okay, while it's on my mind, I don't usually miss an opportunity to ask this question. So what's the #1 industry in the state of Tennessee? Agriculture. With no further ado, Governor Lee, fellow farmer, could you make some comments?
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank y'all for being out here. This is what we decided we wanted to do to kick off a celebration of 250 years of America and the importance that Tennessee played in that celebration. So we will be going to every county in the state over the next year or so, in part because every county in the state will have its own 250-year celebration of this great country, the greatest country in the world, and its birthday. But we wanted to start it off in this spot, at this particular farm, and thank you to the Hughes family for allowing us to be here. It's unique, isn't it? Rocky Field was begun in 1796, and that is the year that Tennessee was founded as a state. And for me personally, it's also the year that my 7th great-grandfather moved to Tennessee and started the Lee family tradition that began 7 generations ago for me. It's now the 9th generation of my family, but they moved to Tennessee in 1796 as well. It's the year that the greatest state in the United States began. And we celebrate not only the 250th anniversary of this great country by starting right here at Rocky Field, but we celebrate the importance that Tennessee has played in that 250 years. From the volunteers in their original sense to the volunteers that are standing here today for 4-H or FFA, to the young people that are going to be the next generation of Tennessee. That's what we're celebrating. We're celebrating that everything that is remarkable about our state, that makes us a leading state in America, and when we celebrate the greatest country in the world and its 250 years of existence, we should be proud as Tennesseans to be a very important part of that. So to stand here on the stage with Lieutenant Governor McNally and with Speaker Sexton in my 7th year of being, and with Representative Hawk and Jones representing the members of the General Assembly, in my 7th year as governor, can I just say to Tennesseans, and I will be saying this as I go over the next several months to every county, we are very fortunate in this state for so many reasons. But one of the reasons is the leadership of the General Assembly and the partnership with local leadership, local organizations, local farmers, Farm Bureau, that combination of leadership has created what is very unique about Tennessee. I was interviewed by an outlet about Tennessee's attraction to people from around the world, and they were asking me, they were noting the statistics that show companies coming from all over the globe to Tennessee, and people moving from all over the country to Tennessee. And they said, what is it about Tennessee that is unique? And I said, it's really hard to describe. There's just something about this state, but it resides in her people. And the people of Tennessee are different than the people. And when you come to move here, you become a Tennessean, and you learn and understand what makes us different. The people of Tennessee are different, and the people of America have taken notice of that, and we are the beneficiaries of that. And as such, we have a responsibility to be stewards of that. When I think about Cameron Sexton and Randy McNally and their leadership in the state to steward things like taxpayer dollars and to manage the finances of our state in a way that our budget has surpluses and our taxes on our people are low and our debt for our communities is one of the lowest in the country. That's stewardship. And financial stewardship is one of the most important things that governmental leadership can do. So we stand here today, fortunate people, because the people of this state have made this the greatest place in America to live. And as we celebrate the greatest country in the world's history, as we celebrate its 250 years, we have a uniquely important opportunity to celebrate because we're Tennesseans. And that's something that most people can't say and wish that they could. As stewards, I will add that this Farmland Preservation Act that we're about to make a signature on is an example of what good stewardship looks like. We are a state that has the number one driver of our economy as agriculture. As I was talking with Mr. Jones just a few minutes ago, his family sells retail meat to through butcher shops and to a store that they're about to create, and they're retail sellers of beef. My family did the same thing. My family has done the same thing, where we take calves and process them and sell them to farm-table restaurants and direct to consumers. Agriculture is the biggest driver of our state's economy. Our family's known it for generations, his as well, and many across this state. But do you know that we are in the top 5 worst states in America for the loss of farmland? We lose 10 acres per hour of farmland in this state to development. It's a staggering statistic when you consider the importance that farmland has to the future of Tennessee. And that's what the Farmland Preservation Act is about. There is a way to have development and growth and economic prosperity and positive things happening in your state, and recognize that preservation, conservation, and appreciation for natural resources that make up the beauty of Tennessee. That is one of the other reasons why people move here across the country, because we're uniquely beautiful. If you look out here, you can kind of figure that out. But preserving that land and promoting the development of economic prosperity can exist, but it isn't easy. And we have to work hard to do that. Part of the ways we do that is incentivize and offer to families the opportunity to place their land in trust, that through private partners like the Land Trust of Tennessee, private partners that can help that family preserve their land into perpetuity so that their children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren can not only continue to farm the property or generations of others farm that property, but that it won't be lost to development in the future. We can steward that balance. It's incredibly important that we do so. So it's fitting that on this first day of celebrating America's 250th birthday, at this spectacular century farm, in fact more than a century farm, it was created when the state was created. It's fitting that we come together to sign the Farmland Preservation Act, and I'm very grateful for every one of you who came out to celebrate this with us. So thank you for being here today. I think we're going to move to signature. Thank you.